Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Thank you very much. Very good morning. The question has quite a few dimensions that someone has to answer, but I will try to summarize. When I first came into this university, I came as a visitor when I came to deliver a public lecture. And once I stepped my foot into the university, I became interested in the university. It is a university that is promising. It is a university that you can see the potential in the staff, in the students, in the enthusiasm, especially that people are approaching the work. But what I saw lacking is mostly professionalism in work ethics, and also the a lack of awareness of what was then the norm in universities. Having stayed diaspora for almost 2.5 decades, I came to learn a lot about how universities actually are run. Both the experience from Europe when I stayed there in the UK for 7 years, and then moved to Malaysia where I concluded my studies and then worked for 17 years. So immediately I assumed back here as a staff. I started actually pursuing an agenda, especially transforming the teaching aspect, which is my primary assignment or primary portfolio as a lecturer. So at the time, as soon as I came, I made a proposal. I still can remember a proposal of about 12 pages I wrote to the then Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Fatima Bato, on her teaching aspect, teaching and learning particularly. The way we teach, the way we communicate with students, the way learning activity is done is far, far behind what is obtained in other places in the world. We were still dictating to students. We were still writing on the board for the students to copy. Sometimes you find a lecturer just sitting down and with a paper lecture notes that was actually written years ago, and then he dictating. So that aspect bothered me a lot. So I came up with this issue of blended learning. Even though at that time we cannot do an online completely because of lack of facility and lack of awareness, so we proposed blended learning, where you have a free LMS, that is a learning management system that you can adopt, and then you can just teach staff how to use it, and then transfer the same to students, and then you can communicate through that. So I remember at that time I proposed Edmodo, which is an American learning management system, which is free and which is very easy to access. And the interface also is very easy for students and staff to learn. So we started doing that. So half of the lectures will be done online so that staff can send their lectures to the students, and students will go through the lectures PowerPoint, and then they come back to the class rather than him projecting the slides and then discussing. They already have seen them, then they just discuss. So more time is given for interaction between staff and students. So we started that. It started yielding quite a very good results. So we will move on to research also. I tried as much as possible to connect the university with many international research bodies. There is one Africa Uninet, which is the most potential. The university is the first university in Nigeria to actually be a member of that body. I was in Brussels attending a higher education workshop that actually Africans attended, and at the time, one university in Austria actually proposed that why don't African universities collaborate with Austrian universities to form a research group, since a lot of research material in Africa exists. So we formed the group, and it's called Africa Uninet. the Austrian government under the Ministry of Higher Education sponsors all the participants to annual meetings, and then they organize research meetings. Researchers are allowed to go for mobility for weeks, sometimes months, well sponsored. They can also engage other Austrian and African universities to go into research. So we did that. Another one is actually the Oracle, which we also have a lot of research. And then there is also another United Nations, United Nations Impact group, which also Federal University does, they happen to be. So these are potent research bodies that we have achieved a lot through. Then comes the time when I became the Vice Chancellor. Before that, sorry, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic. So we started giving ideas on how to make the outlook of the university to change. At that time, a lot of projects are there, but then they were abandoned for one reason or the other. A lot of crisis in terms of lecture rooms that we have, in terms of offices of staff, in terms of facilities, especially at the students' hostel. So I was marking all those things. At the time, I don't have any authority to make impact. So God made it. I became the Vice Chancellor, and my first issue was to tackle the student aspect of life. And so we went around, checked how the hostels are. We tried to transform them. We tried to attract grants to build more hostels, especially for female, because we know male can always, male students can always strive outside. They can always have places to stay, but for female, it is very difficult because of the nature of their demands and needs. So we tried to attract a lot of funding, especially from the capital funds and from friends who actually have other people that they can help. So we built quite a number of female hostels, totaling to about four, with a very big capacity. And then we also renovated those and provided facilities that were not there, like laundry facilities, kitchen facilities, and things like that. Same with the male hostel. And then also we came to realize that our laboratories are not really up to the standard. We pushed for more grants, and we had laboratories set up, of course, including forensic laboratory, which is yet to be punished and equipped, but God willing, it will be done. So this is what I started having my vision. So once I became a Vice Chancellor, the first thing that I did was actually to, rather than just taking things arbitrarily, I came up with an agenda, actually shortlisting those things that I wanted to do, especially in terms of infrastructure, academic development, etc. So I listed them. Uh, for example, provision of solar electrification, provision of internet facility for the students, provision of staff welfare, many things as they are. So I started following them gradually one by one. And God will have it as we are going along, things were coming. And basically, most of the things that we proposed during those times as the agenda were fulfilled. One of which is actually this particular building, the Senate building, because the Senate building at the time was the take-off building, as you know. It was very small. The university is growing, getting more popular with even staff. Many people from diaspora were trooping to come back. Many people within the country were transferring their services from neighboring universities back to our university because, of course, of the conducive atmosphere that they have and the welfare. So we started, and then when it comes to digitalizing the university, we actually appointed a very apt ICT director, and he actually helped to give ideas how we are going to transform this university. We started doing away with paperwork. I remember when I suggested, even during my DVC time, to the then Vice Chancellor that why don't we start e-Senate? So that we stop circulating papers, because I remember every time Senate meetings are coming, it's like a nightmare for the Secretariat, because every Senate member will have to have this big file. They keep photocopying, they keep wasting papers and toners and things like that, and endless printing. So I said, why don't we just have e-Senate? So we said, okay, that's good. So we acquired some tabs, small tabs that these files can be sent to Senate members. So all Senate members at the time were issued with a tab. So Senate become an e-Senate until now. So members of Senate will have their folders sent to their emails, and everybody will download the folders and bring them to the Senate, and we have that. It's gradually transcends down. Uh, what I want to say is, when it comes to technicality and having facilities, just you can mark me. No university in Nigeria can boast of what we have here, especially when it comes to accessibility to hardware that you can use for these e-facilities. We are aware that every single head of department, the dean, a director, a principal officer, going down to faculty examination officers, sometimes to even department examination officers. Everybody has a piece of laptop that we gave to him that facilitated his work, which is not obtainable. You go to bigger universities, even a dean will have to use his personal laptop. But in FUD, every single office holder, from head of department to directors to deans, of course, like I said, to examination officers, everybody is given. And at some point, when it get damaged, they will return it back, and we give a new one. So that actually started making things easier for us and better. So that is the reason why the academic activity picked up. That's the reason why our ranking was going higher and higher until such time when we became the first best student, sorry, best university in the Northwest by NUC, which is of course very good for us with all the ABUs and BUKs around. Uh, Going down, we started thinking about newer programs. For example, what can we do? So in my actually 11 points, I stated that I wanted to enact a faculty of law and pharmaceutical sciences, even though the resources were not coming at that time, but we made it a point that anytime resources are available, we're going to start that. So Alhamdulillah, a law faculty is already on ground. I also made sure that before I leave, pharmaceutical sciences also will come. So the intervention we had last year, which we are implementing now, includes the building of Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, and it is in full gear that the faculty will be done. So even if I'm not around, at least the faculty will be there. Faculty of Law has been completed. We were just left out of this admission because of the resource verification that has to be done before admission. So God willing, by next session, students will be admitted into Faculty of Law. When it comes to administration, especially policies, etc., I try to adopt an open policy because normally when you are so tight and you don't allow for ideas to filter through to you, you may be doing things that is not relevant to the society. So I try to accommodate all staff. I try to accommodate all those management staff that are stakeholders from right, for example, from level coordinators to head of departments to deans, more especially also my principal officers. So all the time when there are issues, we try to come together and discuss, and the best idea out of that will now be implemented. Same when it comes to policies, open policies, like in terms of financial, etc. Every time we have requests from staff, requests from uh, for example, departments will always engage those stakeholders, the staff. If it's a laboratory equipment, the department will come and explain to us. And if we are satisfied, then we just go ahead and do those things for them. When it comes to also staff welfare, during our time, I remember vividly when we came on board, we were left with, we met, sorry, about 160 million deficit in staff welfare claims, mostly DTAs, mostly leave grants and things like that. So at the time it was difficult, but within 3 months of my assumption of duty, we cleared those backlog of claims. And I made it a policy that every single time a file comes to my desk, if it's something to do with claim, either for staff or for contractors, I will never go out without signing it because I know finances how they are. These days, value of money changes by the day. So if someone is claiming back his money, if you didn't sign it for 1 week, the money depreciates. So I don't want that. So every single time I come to, even if I'm not coming to the office, normally I will ask the bursar to send the claims online. That is through my phone, and I will give administrative approval through the phone, and then he will go ahead and pay. So that what helped actually. So for staff welfare, one of the agendas that we put was well taken care of. Leave was given. We come to a point where responsibility allowance was not given because of IPPS. So personally, I made it that from our IGR that we'll be paying at least half of the responsibility because we cannot pay the full to staff. So I instructed the bursary to compute a responsibility, 50% of responsibility allowance to be given to staff who are charged with certain responsibilities. Many things, allowances are given in time, sometimes honoraria, many meetings that we have that usually you don't give honoraria because people are given their extra time and they're given their best. So we try to actually give them something to motivate them. So Alhamdulillah, through the years, it became a habit, it became a norm in the university that people are rewarded in one way or the other when they are hard working. So to cap it all, our academic achievements, the university achieved a lot through research. We have potent research personnel that have obtained a lot of grants. When I came, I don't think there was any big grant in the university. We were struggling with only IBR, institutional-based research. But during my time, we were able to have international grants. One of the most silent one that people don't see is the WHO malaria surveillance grant, which I personally actually obtained for the university. The time when I was looking for those who would handle it, I tried to find and I got Professor Dogarat. I asked him to make a team. It was very competitive. In fact, in the north, it's not northwest. There are two sides, the south and the north. So when they brought the issue to the north and we applied, they thought we are not going to make it because ABUs, everybody was there. But I went and we depended, and with the little knowledge I have on the field, we were able to be the best. And that grant was given. Until now, the grant is going to run for 30 years. They've been running now for 4 years since I came. Just recently, the coordinator called me, and also later on, the researcher, Professor Dogara, came to tell me that they have extended it to 30 years. So every year they will be doing surveillance and many other things because normally WHO research is a long term. So this is some of the things. Another issue that happened is because uh, accreditations and things are important. Mostly when if the accreditations are done, what somebody wants to see is accreditation passed and there is no failures. So when we came, we tried to do all that. So throughout my time, we have never had any program that is denied accreditation. The worst we had was actually the cybersecurity. Even at that time, it's because we were mistaken not to include some of the minimum standards that the NUC actually asks that a course like that should have. So they give us interim, and recently we just cleared that interim accreditation to a full one. So by and large, I think the university has grown very well. Staff strength became very good. A lot of staff from bigger universities transferred their service to this university because of stability, because of progress that we make, and of course because of the peaceful nature of the environment. So I think, Alhamdulillah, what I can say is I've done much. I've done what I can, and most of the things that I promised, I've done them. So the others maybe are left for the incoming BC to take care of. Thank you very much.